distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Asia-Europe Foundation, also known as ASEF, I was very pleased to join the 7th ASEM Culture Ministers meeting at the kind invitation of the Korean government. ASEF, as many of you probably already are aware, is the only established institution of the Asia-Europe meeting, ASEM, and has, since 1997, complemented the political dialogue process with people-to-people exchanges at the civil society level. The cultural agenda of ASEM, as set by the ministers through the ASEM Culture Ministers meetings, or ASEM CMMs, has been particularly important for ASEF's work in arts and culture. We have been facilitating information exchange, multi-stakeholder dialogue, and collaborative projects in areas of mutual relevance for Asia and Europe, be it in the arts, creative industries, cultural heritage, and digital. In doing this, we have constantly drawn inspiration from the agenda of the ASEM Culture Ministers for the themes and topics of our programs. Since the very first ASEM Culture Ministers meeting in 2003 in Beijing, China, we at ASEF have participated in the discussions and reported on our activities in arts and culture and their relevance for the ASEM dialogue process. Today, I'm delighted to be able to continue this tradition and share with all of you the outcomes of our ASEF policy panel organized alongside the second senior officials meeting here on Wednesday, as well as an overview of ASEF's work in culture. Immense possibilities exist for Asia-Europe cooperation in the creative industries. At the same time, we must also acknowledge the new challenges posed by the digital environment, the need for a more balanced flow of cultural goods and services, as well as the tensions inherent in utilization of heritage as a source for economic development. Therefore, it is, indeed, very timely that ministers of culture from Asia and Europe are giving these topics particular attention at this meeting. To support your discussions, ASEF, along with the host of this ministerial meeting, organized a panel discussion with civil society experts at the second senior official meeting on Wednesday. 3 experts addressed the same topics that we have been deliberating upon yesterday and today to offer some food for thought to the ministerial meeting. The idea behind the panel was to support multi-stakeholder policymaking in the ASEM context by bringing voices from civil societies in Asia and Europe to this intergovernmental dialogue forum. 3 key messages emerged from the panel which I would like to place before you for your consideration. First, people-to-people connections remain important. There is a need for continued public funding and support for increased exchanges among cultural professionals in Asia and Europe. This can be done through support for regular platforms where creatives can meet and exchange ideas as a first step towards collaboration. It is also important to offer long-term support to networks of like-minded creatives in Asia and Europe. To strengthen such exchange, funding for cultural mobility must be found, such as funds to cover airfares and visas for artists traveling between the 2 regions to learn, collaborate, or share their work. Second, more collaborative projects should be supported, and curatorial approaches to such projects must be regularly rethought. Co-creation projects should continue to be funded to promote collaborations between artists and arts organizations in Asia and Europe. Funding for such projects could come from diverse sources. Collaboration projects must offer equal opportunities for artists and creative and entrepreneurs from all ASEM countries to participate. Curatorial approaches to such collaborative projects may need rethinking to ensure equity in the co-creative process. Otherwise, the party generating the initial dialogue or in possession of greater financial resources could play a disproportionately dominant role. Third, continued knowledge exchange between Asia and Europe in culture and creative economy is needed. This could take the form of compiling good practices to share, peer-to-peer learning programs for creative entrepreneurs, programs connecting young people and senior experts to facilitate intergenerational knowledge transmission. The full report of the panel was circulated to all delegations yesterday and is available for download on our website for all of you. I also invite you to read the paper on Asia-Europe connectivity in the creative industries by Nina Obulien, who was commissioned by ASEF for our upcoming ASEF Outlook report. This paper provides a useful overview of the cultural and creative industries in the ASEM region in terms of revenues, jobs, as well as the diversity of cultural content produced and disseminated. Copies of Nina's paper have been distributed to all delegations in the ASEF bags. More copies are available with my colleagues, and electronic versions are available for free download online. We hope these compilations will inspire more bi-regional knowledge exchange and learning avenues among cultural professionals and public sector representatives. I would like to reiterate that it has been a pleasure for ASEF to support the preparation for the 7th ASEM Culture Ministers meeting through the panel discussion, through the 8th ASEF Public Forum in Gwangju last November, and through commissioning a compilation of case studies, all in collaboration with our Korean hosts. For us, this collaboration is yet another example of the role and function of ASEF in complementing the ASEM dialogue process. ASEF performs this role in two key ways. By promoting wider discussions on ASEM priorities at the civil society level through our ASEF public forums and ASEF public panels, which bring together artists, cultural professionals, and government agencies responsible for culture. By bringing ideas from civil society to the political level through the ASEF policy panels at ASEM Cultural Ministers meetings, and our specially commissioned publications documenting good practices from both regions. In line with the agenda of the last 3 Cultural Ministers meetings in Poland, Indonesia, and the Netherlands, we set up ASEF public forums in the hosting countries as well as other member countries in collaboration with national governments. We look forward to continuing this tradition with the host of the next 8th ASEM Cultural Ministers meeting. In addition, ASEF policy panels will be regularly held at important arts platforms, such as the upcoming World Summit on Arts and Culture this October in Malta. In addition to promoting cultural policy dialogues and thus complementing the ASEM process, ASEF's work in arts and culture focuses on 2 other key areas. The first focus rests on promoting collaborations between artists, arts organizations, and cultural networks in Asia and Europe. We co-fund and facilitate artists in both regions to collaborate and produce new artworks together, such as through creative encounters, cultural partnerships between Asia and Europe. We also support networks of cultural organizations and cultural professionals to stay connected and work together. A good example is the Asia-Europe Museum Network, ASEMOS, which now brings together 140 museums across 40 Asian and European countries. The second focus rests on filling the information gaps that exist in arts and culture in Asia and Europe. This is done mainly through ASEF Cultural 360, the arts and culture portal of ASEF, which I hope all of you know of and use actively. I would like to highlight 3 key features of the portal. 1, you can find and present arts news about your respective countries through the countries section of the website. 2, in our mobility funding guides, which are also downloadable, artists from each of the 51 ASEM partner countries can find a list of all grants and funds available to them. 3, museum professionals are invited to visit the website of the Asia-Europe Museum Network at www.asemoscultural360.org. We also support the development of an important international information system for the arts in the form of the World CP International Database on Cultural Policies. National arts and culture profiles are commissioned for each ASEM partner country. In addition, capacity building workshops are also organized for cultural policy researchers. I would like to reiterate here that all our activities are undertaken in collaboration with partner organizations in Asia and Europe, which come both from the public sector and civil society. Therefore, we at ASEF continue to strengthen cultural cooperation between Asia and Europe by facilitating policy dialogue, artistic collaborations, and bi-regional networks. We aim to foster equal partnerships between Asian and European arts organizations while also facilitating dialogue between the arts sector and government agencies responsible for culture. In addition to culture, ASEF also works in the areas of education, sustainable development, economy, governance, and public health. Over the last 19 years, we have organized over 700 seminars and artistic projects with about 750 partners, which have brought together more than 20,000 Asians and Europeans. In addition, we have reached out to much wider public audiences and online users. This has been possible owing to the mandate we have received from ASEM partners and their financial and moral support. We sincerely hope that this support will continue, strengthen, and maybe even increase in the years to come. We at ASEF will mark our 20th anniversary next year, and we look forward to continued collaboration with all partner countries to further deepen cultural ties between Asia and Europe. If you would like to know more about our work or collaborate with us, please get in touch with me or my colleagues, and do visit our information booth as well. Finally, I would like to thank the Korean government for their collaboration with us since last year and for their gracious hospitality during this ASEM Culture Ministers meeting. 감사합니다. Thank you all for your attention.